For over 19 years, your eyes and ears on horse racing has been Tommy Walski's The Sport of King. On today's show, we'll relive all the racing action of Derby weekend. Tommy gets you caught up on all the buzz. Our race of the week features the 65th BC Derby. Our salute to the champions remembers one of racing's equine heroes. And out here he is, BC's ambassador to the world of horse racing, Mr. Tommy Walski.
Last weekend they held the exciting BC Derby weekend that consisted of the BC Oaks and of course the Derby. We had our cameras there, and if you weren't there, here's what went on. We're going to recap all the races for you, and if you were there, you're going to enjoy watching them one more time.
A large crowd attended British Columbia's biggest weekend of horse racing and were rewarded with a break in the weather. While the track was heavy, spirits were high, and the stakes action got off to a good start with the Delta Colleen. With only 4 starters, the small field did not lack excitement.
Midway on the final turn, Summer Song, PS touchdown. 2 back now is Borgatello and the trailer, Blue Sky Holiday trying to wind it up as they turn for home now. PS touchdown on the outside, Summer Song, PS touchdown inside of 60, PS touchdown by a head, Summer Song trying to gain, it will be Summer Song by a head. PS touchdown second, 4 lengths back Borgatello, Blue Sky Holiday.
In a very tight finish, Summer Song continued her winning ways at Hastings with the victory. Owner Glenn Todd on the win.
I was pretty worried, actually, because the speed's been carrying here for 2 weeks, right? And there was no speed in the race, and the 4-horse field becomes a match race, and Mario did the right thing. He stayed as close as he could without, getting too far back, and, speed's been carrying, and I was worried because she comes from far off the paces,
Jockey Mario Gutierrez on how well PS Touchdown ran in the race.
That horse ran pretty good for Chad. He came out pretty good. I started asking my horse, and the other horse tried to keep up. But I think that's what happened in small fields. So.
The 32nd running of the Fantasy for 2-year-old fillies had the young ones stretching it out for the first time, and it proved to be a swift finish.
Pigtails and Embankment past the 5/16 they go. 6 furlongs, 111 and 4, and Overvalued quickly opens up by 3. Now Pigtails makes her move in second. Amazing Rose, Embankment, her time to shine. Love Logic, the trailer, midway on the turn. Overvalued, but Pigtails is in pursuit. Embankment's third. Down the lane they come. It's now Pigtails with the lead. Pigtails by 2. Embankment is moving in. Then Overvalued and Amazing Rose. Pigtails by 3. Pigtails to score in the Fantasy. It will be Embankment second, Overvalued third, Amazing Rose fourth.
After a big move on the corner, Pigtails drew off, proving the distance would not bother her in her 3-year-old season. Trainer Dino Condolenios faced the challenge of stretching out.
I knew they both would go long. That was the one thing we were quite confident about. And, the race set up nicely. That was one of the reasons we entered. We knew there was a lot of speed in the race, and I know our fillies both will relax and come running late. So, going long sometimes it's not always the most talented, but, who can get the distance. So.
Were you surprised with the fractions?
Actually I wasn't. Maybe it was a little quicker than I thought, but I had a feeling they were gonna be sizzling because, they're 2-year-olds. It's the first time going long, and they've shown a lot of speed. So I wasn't that surprised, actually.
The inaugural Derby Bar and Grill Express showcased the distaff sprinters, going 6 furlongs. They raced in fast fractions, with one of them coming off the pace, proving to be the best of the day.
To wait for a way through, Heaven on hold, then Sweet and Sour, and notice her as they race past the quarter pole, the half, 45 flat, and it's now Windstorm. She found a seam, sneaks up the inside, takes command as they turn for home. It's Windstorm, Smoke and Danielle, Sweet and Sour, Classic Alley Cat. Down the lane they come in the Derby Bar and Grill Ladies Express, and Windstorm has asserted herself, opened up by 4.5. Windstorm to score, Smoke and Danielle second, Sweet and Sour third, Photo for fourth.
Jockey Richard Hamel rode Windstorm with one of his now familiar rail trips to victory.
Yeah, it was set up real nice. I figured everybody would be sending pretty hard, so I'd get a chance to get down to the fence. Once I got there, just kind of waited for my time to get up through the spots that I need to be. Quarter pole opened up. It was beautiful. It's just got a garden trip.
The 47th running of the British Columbia Oaks showcased the best 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/8 for a purse of $75,000.
There they go. Field of 9, 3-year-old fillies sent on their way in the 47th running of the British Columbia Oaks. Otero quick and on the early lead. Gorgeous Guma in that leading group. Dearest Princess shows good early speed. On the outside, Notoriously looking for a spot. Down towards the inside, Zenovit's got a good spot. 2 back, Finality Filly. Then Jungle Lily, my bailout. Early trailer, Wonder Woman. They're on the turn now, and Otero and Dearest Princess hook up. Zenovit right there down on the inside. Gorgeous Guma's in between runners. Notoriously's on the outside. Finality Filly's on the outside, racing in 6th. Then Jungle Lily. Then it's back to my bailout. Wonder Woman the trailer, but she's only 8 off the lead. Opening quarter, a quick 22 and 3. Into the clubhouse turn they go. And from the inside, it's still Otero. Otero now by a little over a length. Dearest Princess, Zenovit wrapped up down on the inside. Notoriously 4th, followed by Gorgeous Guma. Jungle Lily down towards the inside. Finality Filly, my bailout, and Wonder Woman midway on the back stretch, a half. 46 and 3, and Otero leads it. Dearest Princess, Notoriously, Zenovit still needs a way through. Finality Filly, Jungle Lily, Gorgeous Guma, then Wonder Woman and my bailout. 6 furlongs, 111 and 4. Midway on the final turn, and Otero opens up by 3/4 of a length. Now Zenovit finds a little room along the inside, and Kevin Krieger puts her on the lead. Down the lane they come. It's now Zenovit. Otero. Closing brightest of all is Finality Filly. In deep stretch, it's Zenovit with the lead. Zenovit to score in the Oaks. Wonder Woman gets up for second. Finality Filly third, Otero fourth, followed by Jungle Lily, Dearest Princess, Notoriously.
Emerald Downs horse Zenovit wins this year's BC Oaks. Jockey Kevin Krieger with a very patient ride.
Yeah, I was in tight most of the way. You know, I just, after I was where I was at, I was where I was. I didn't have no other choice but to stay there and just bide my time. So I just waited patiently. The 5 and the 6 horse gathered up outside Otero around the final turn, and I was still down on the inside, and I saw Otero came off the rail just enough. And I smooched to her, and she showed me that when you're ready, I'm going to go. And I waited just a little bit longer just to make sure I don't move her too early still. And when I asked her, she took off running, and we were home free.
On Sunday, the weatherman cooperated for the second straight day, and the large crowd were entertained both on and off the track. Racing action got underway with the distance specialist going 1.5 miles in the Pacific Custom Brokers Marathon number 4. Let's pick up the action after 2 laps on the track.
Military Deputy is second now by about 7. Finally cruising now, asked for run in third. Galahad fourth. Wild Young Cowboy in fifth. Smart Call, it would be nice. To the far turn they go now, and a 1/4 mile to home in number 4 of the Marathon Series. Numani still nice and relaxed, leads it by 3. Military Deputy, but here's finally cruising. He's eating up ground on the outside. 1/8 of a mile to run, and Numani will now ask for more run. He responds, leads it by 3. Finally cruising now. He's in pursuit. It's Numani. Finally cruising. Military Deputy. Numani to score at number 4 of the Marathon Series. Finally cruising second. Military Deputy and Wild Young Cowboy.
Swift Thoroughbreds Numani prevails in the end, and we asked winning rider Frank Fuentes what is the trick to winning a long race.
Well, 1.5 miles is the one of the main thing is make the horse to relax, because if the horse starts running off and getting pretty tough, he's not relaxing, so we waste his energy around. But you know, they leave me with this horse. He proved he's a marathon horse, and the longer the goes, the better. And Cruising Cat's a pretty nice horse too, and a couple here. But today they leave me along, and I got the best.
The 54th renewal of the Sir Winston Churchill saw fan favorite Spaghetti Mouse in a stretch duel.
Spaghetti Mouse, and he quickly opens up a length advantage. Senior Rojo, Trick of the North. Then 3 Wood, 2 lengths back, almost time. And Ganbei into the far turn they go, 6 furlongs, 1:13 and 2. Spaghetti Mouse by a neck. Senior Rojo railing again on the inside. 2 back, Trick of the North. 3 Woods on the outside, almost time, and Ganbei as a turn for home in the Sir Winston Churchill. And Senior Rojo now leads it. Down the lane they come. Senior Rojo with Hamel is opened up by 2. Spaghetti Mouse in second. Trick of the North third, but the Sir Winston Churchill, the senior Rojo, beginning outside.
Hamel on his rail trip.
My horse loves the rail. He runs real close to that rail, so I wasn't worried about the position I had. I was expecting Spaghetti Mouse to hang in a little farther, but I was really happy when he didn't. And this horse dug in hard, finished well.
This is one of your favorite horses too, isn't it?
Yeah, he's pretty neat. I've spent a lot of time on that horse last year, and I'm glad I got an option to ride him this year.
The third running of the Derby Bar and Grill Express saw the fastest sprinters at Hastings chase a purse of $25,000 around 6 furlongs.
Climber by a head. Forest Prince glued to him on the outside. Length and a half back is Seminole Brave. Burj Dubai sits in fourth. BR Remark on the outside is Boundless Cat staying out of trouble. They're Rock and Roll and Bank Emblem. They've reached the far turn. The half, 45 flat. Distorted Glamour. Forest Prince, their noses apart. Length back is Burj Dubai. He'll lead a way through. Seminole Brave and Bear Rock and Roll. Eighth of a mile to run. And Forest Prince with a short advantage. Distorted Glamour. Burj Dubai. Bear Rock and Roll now splits runners quickly and takes the lead. Bear Rock and Roll. Forest Prince. Burj Dubai. Bear Rock and Roll to score. Burj Dubai second. Photo for third between BR Remark and Forest Prince.
Winning rider Dave Wilson speaks of his patient ride.
They pretty much forced me to ride that. I had to wait, hope for a hole to open up. I mean, we had to go to plan B.
What was plan B?
Well, Craig said that he needed to be up close. Didn't need to be on the lead, but he needed to be right close, not to give him too much to do. And he didn't leave the gate real clean, and we were getting hung wide, so I had to swing him out onto the rail. So he swung onto the rail, and then coming around the final turn, I was just following Pedro and hoping for a hole to open, and it opened, and we got through.
He was full of run near the end, wasn't he?
He was full of run. That's why I'm sitting there with a ton of horse looking for a hole, and I was so glad it opened, because if it don't open, now you're standing on your head and you look like an idiot. So I look like a hero today, but that's today.
The 51st running of the Ascot graduation saw the 2-year-olds take the stage, going long for the first time.
King of the Sky, Patsquero. Too much dirt's in between runners for Russell Bays. Then Dynamine's on the outside. Cashland now starting to pick off some runners, and time for a cold one. Into the far turn they go. The half was reached in 47 and 2. 6 furlongs, 113 and 2. And Stormy Canuck. And look out Dubai. 2 lengths back. Here's Too Much Dirt. He's closing ground. Final flare. Cashland and out of the clouds. 1/8 of a mile to run. And Stormy Canuck. Look out Dubai. And here on the outside is Too Much Dirt. He's going by. It's Too Much Dirt. Stormy Canuck. Look out Dubai. Too Much Dirt to score in the Ascot graduation. Stormy Canuck second, Final Flare third. Looks like Cashland may be up for fourth, but it'll be a photo.
Visiting rider Russell Bays pulling off a minor upset with the appropriately named horse Too Much Dirt.
He broke real clean away from the gate and then kind of let himself settle back a ways. I wasn't really worried because the horses up on the lead looked like they were going pretty quick, so I just let him settle, get comfortable in the race, and gradually worked his way up into a good striking position. And when I asked him to run, he bared down and really tried hard for me.
When do you realize your horse got a hell of a shot?
To tell you the truth, I really didn't think I had that much horse until I reached and busted him a couple of times, and he really accelerated well. He responded well when I asked him. So, right at that point, I knew I had a pretty good chance because he was catching leaders pretty quick at that point.
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back. Now, it's time to get you caught up on all the news in horse racing with The Buzz.
Kicking off the big BC Derby Oaks weekend was a VIP invitational dinner, where the owners had a chance to watch their horses being drawn for a post position.
First one out is Crew Leader from the Dino Condoleezza Swift Thoroughbred contingent.
Perhaps the most exciting times for any youngster is when they get approval for their jockey's license by the Board of Stewards. And when they are getting ready to ride that first race, imagine having Hall of Fame jockey Russell Bays coming by and giving you some tips on what to do on your first ride. That is what happened to young Marlo Dunn.
Always keep your head up, watch what's going on, try to figure out what is going to happen. It's like playing chess. You have to see the moves that are going to happen, 2 or 3 moves ahead. So pay close attention, try to give your horse, get him in a position where he can do it, and just be a good passenger.
And while Milo didn't win that first race, what she did learn was how to handle herself with a face full of mud. Last weekend during the races here at Hastings, fans had a chance to experience through a huge jumbo color-vision screen set up in the infield at Hastings what it was actually like to be riding a race as several jockeys put on a head camp. A familiar face seen during Derby weekend was former jockey Dan Brock, who won his BC Derby back in 1992 with Jellystone Park. Dan was here to give his son John moral support as he happens to be the groom for Washington Vader Zenovit, who won the BC Oaks. And finally, as if one Bay's winning ton of races isn't enough, there's Vicky Bays. Now let's see if I get this right. Vicky is married to Russ's cousin Gary, and last Sunday, Vicky became the first leading rider at Assiniboia Downs in Manitoba. Now that is strictly amazing. And that's it for this edition of The Buzz. Today on our Race of the Week, brought to you by Nick's Spaghetti House, we're going to show you the race you've all been waiting for. It's the highly anticipated $150,000 BC Derby. It's for 3-year-olds. They're going in a mile and an eighth. Fine field. What should we do? Turn the microphone over to Brooke Wide.
Crew Leader is owned by Swift Thoroughbreds. Crew Leader is a Kentucky bred that has been knocking on the door in the high claiming ranks.
Crew Leader's a horse that's been a little unlucky. He got into quite a bit of trouble the last couple starts. I expect him to run well. He's sort of one of those horses that needs a little bit of pace for it to set up. He's training well, coming up to the race in good shape.
Fox Creek is owned by Encore Stables. Fox Creek sports a perfect 2 for 2 this year, and he'll be close to the front early.
He has speed. He's sat second sprinting and closed to down the lane to win them both. So he does have speed, and of course this is his first time going long.
Ain is owned by Swift Thoroughbreds. Ain is a Kentucky-bred maiden that has never missed the board this year.
He's come close in the last couple of stakes, one in Seattle, one here. Hopefully there's a bit of pace in there, and he can mow him down the lane.
Majestically is owned by Mr. and Mrs. R.J. Bennett. Majestically is a horse on the improve and is coming off a big run in the Derby trial.
He's kind of taken a while to figure things out, and last time we took him back in the Derby trial, and he moved quite a bit early, and was hung really wide down the lane or coming around the turn, and so he ended up fourth, but ran a great race, and it definitely cost him going wide, circling the field. And
Smart Spending is owned by Swift Thoroughbreds. Smart Spending has only one race to his credit, but it was a comfortable one in the claiming ranks.
It's 1 for 1, and he's a talented horse, and it's not the toughest Derby ever to be run. So either side would take a swing with him.
Charter Hill is owned by Neville Davis. Charter Hill has hit the board in most of his starts this year and will be part of the early pace.
He's a nice little horse that's really come into his own in his last 3 starts. I really honestly don't know what the strategy should be or can be. I think you might have to wait till the gates open to see what's going to happen. But he does have enough speed to, we could be on the lead if we wanted to, but whether that'll compromise our chances by pushing him too hard early. And he is rateable, so I'm just going to have to leave that up to Dave to, see how they come away from the gate.
Silly Fella is owned by Nick, Pauline, and Giovanni Felicella. Silly Fella is having a great season and should like a slower surface.
He can go to the front or he can come off of it, so we just have to see how it unfolds. Just a minor issue that we discovered as of late, and hopefully we're at the end of it and see how it goes.
Cherokee Notion is owned by Glenn Todd and Patrick Kinsella. Cherokee Notion has the pleasure of carrying the world's leading jockey. He'll be part of the early speed group, and from the one hole, he might be hard to catch.
Looks like a very willing individual. Doesn't look like he has any faults. He'll run inside, outside. The the main thing I think with him is I've got to save enough horse for the finish. It looks like probably a mile and an eighth is about as far as he wants to go, and just give him a good position, get him in a good position, and give him a chance to do his best.
Prince Intent is owned by Glenn Todd and Patrick Kinsella. Prince Intent is coming off a big win at the sales stake recently, and he'll be part of the speed group. Victor's Magic is owned by L. Kerr, 3 of Diamond Stables, and R.J. Thoroughbreds. Victor's Magic has the most racing experience of this group, with 11 lifetime starts. And now let's enjoy this strong field of 3-year-olds. They're going a mile and an eighth in the 65th British Columbia Derby.
There they go. Starter Joe Gray sends a field of 11 on their way in the British Columbia Derby, presented by Sports Action. From the outside, Prince Intent put right on the early lead. Charter Hill deep on the track, trying to gun for the early lead. Down on the inside is Fox Creek. Also right there in that leading group is Smart Spending. Rounding the far turn now from the inside. Fox Creek by a nose. Smart Spending right there. Charter Hill on the extreme outside. Prince Intent now settles into 4th. Silly Fella in 5th. Victor's Magic is 6th. Cherokee Notion for Bays in 7th. 2.5 for the back now comes Distorted Dave. Then towards the inside is Crew Leader. Majestically, 8 is the trailer. He has 15 to make up. The opening quarter in, 22-1. Into the clubhouse turn they go. And Fox Creek by ahead. Right there. Smart Spending, second by a length and a half. From the outside, Charter Hill in 3rd. Silly Fella saving ground. Then on the outside is Prince Intent. Followed by Cherokee Notion, Victor's Magic. In between runners comes Crew Leader, Distorted Dave, Ain, Majesticality is 11th. They went through the half in 45-3. They're midway on the backstretch now. And from the outside with a short lead is Smart Spending. But here's Prince Intent with a move on the outside. Cherokee Notion following that same path. Also closing ground is Ain. He's widest of all. 6 furlongs, 1:11 and 1/3/16 to run. And the Todd and Kinsella duo. It's now Cherokee Notion with the lead. Here's Majesticality. He's closing from far back. And down on the inside is Crew Leader. Down the lane they come. Majesticality has come from nowhere to take the lead. Majesticality, Crew Leader, Cherokee Notion. Majesticality in the 65th running of the British Columbia Derby. It'll be Crew Leader 2nd. Cherokee Notion 3rd. Photo for 4th with Ain and Victor's Magic.
Congratulations on your second Derby win.
Thank you, Tom.
You said you had the alternate plans. What were they?
Well, it wasn't much of an alternation. I mean, when we broke, the outside horses come in a little bit and got a little tight on us and forced us back. We wanted to take back, but it was just not the way I'd like to have it happen. But anyways, it worked out good. We were where I wanted to be, and he was moving up the inside nicely, and I was getting position, and when I needed to get to the outside, it was there. The room was there, so it was just a perfect trip.
How many goggles did you go through?
All of them? 4.
Four goggles. Thanks, Victor.
Thank you, Tommy.
Hey, Barb, in the morning you told us that this horse was coming around. He's getting better. Think you're correct?
Yeah, it's, like I said before, you don't want to say this is your Derby horse early in the year. He's just a horse that's been improving and improving all the time, and Richard really liked him, and I really appreciate Richard sticking with him. He rode a great race. We made a plan and stuck to it, and it actually worked out, which is fantastic, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a great day.
RJ, if anyone is deserving of winning a Derby, it has to be the Bennetts. And what's your thoughts right now?
You're floating right now. You realize there's a valley down there, and maybe there's more clouds up there, but it's the whole deal. You're just floating on all this. It's just fantastic. I don't know. And Derby, that is the big race in British Columbia. Like the Long Acres Mile is in Seattle. That is the big race.
And good luck.
Thank you, Tony.
Time now for Sport of Kings movie trivia. Here is today's trivia question. In the 1937 movie Thoroughbreds Don't Cry, Mickey Rooney plays jockey Timmy Donovan, who plays his singing sidekick, Cricket West. I'll have the answer for you in just a moment. Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back. Time now for the answer to today's movie trivia question. Cricket West was played by Judy Garland.
Thoroughbreds don't cry.
Today on Salute to the Champions, brought to you by the Vancouver Province, we take you back quite a few years, 1991. You're at Churchill Downs, Kentucky. You'll be watching the Breeders' Cup Turf. In this race, there are 5 horses representing 5 different countries. One you want to watch is number 14. She's the only filly in the race. Her name is Miss Alleged. Dynamite Race.
The Salute to the Champions is brought to you by the Province Sports, where you can read Tommy Walski's column, Hoss Talk, every Friday. The Province Sports, it all starts here.
Ready to go, and they are off immediately. It's All Greek to Me. Bounds right to the front. Quest for Fame is also right there. Pistolet Blue and closest to the inside, Sky Classic. Miss Alleged is 5 wide, moving for the fire turn. Cartagena's running along in 6th position now. Then down on the inside, Sadler's Hall is racing 7th. Pigeon Voyager is racing in 8th position. Dear Doctor is 4 wide, racing in 9th. And then it's in the groove. She's racing 10th in behind horses. And Falago is now running about 10 lengths from the front, unhurried in the early going. Then there's a gap of 3 back to the late running, long striding El Senor. Saganika trails the turf field as they turn for home with Canadian Sky Classic leading the way. But he is prompted on the outside by last year's turf champion, It's All Greek to Me. English Derby winner, Quest for Fame, tucked neatly in behind the front runner, and Pistolet Blue. He's got a very good position early. He's running along, and he's moving smoothly in 4th. Cartagena's 5th, and Miss Alleged, and Sadler's Hall toward the inside, Pigeon Voyager. Falago is down inside horses. He's about 8 lengths from the front. The pace is sedate, 25 flat for the quarter. They've run a half mile in 50 and 4/5 seconds. So Sky Classic moving comfortably with It's All Greek to Me. Quest for Fame tucked neatly in behind them, nestled at the rail in 3rd position. Pistolet Blue still moving smoothly on the outside. Then Cartagena, Miss Alleged toward the rail. Pigeon Voyagers on the outside. And then farther back in the field, it's Falago. He'll have a lot of running to do now. He's 8 lengths from the front, and he's pinned down inside in the groove, who's under the firm grasp of Steve Cawthon. And on the far outside, Dear Doctor with Cash Asmussen. Far back trailing now, El Senor. He's better than 15 lengths from the front. And Saganika. They've run 3/4 of a mile in 15 and 4. And now less than a half mile left in this Breeders' Cup Turf. Sky Classic has been prompted the whole way by It's All Greek to Me. Quest for Fame has had a perfect trip. Pistolet Blue still waiting patiently to make his move. Cartagena, then Miss Alleged. On the outside, Pigeon Voyager. Then toward the inside, Sadler's Hall. El Senor is picking off horses on the far outside. And Falago has dropped out of it, and the field turns for home now. The stage is set for the stretch drive. It's All Greek to Me. Powers to a short lead. Sky Classic trying to battle back. Right there toward the inside, It's All Greek to Me. Quest for Fame is charging hard. Pistolet Blue not doing enough here. And Miss Alleged is flying down the center of the course. It's All Greek to Me, desperately trying to hold. And Miss Alleged pulls off another shocker here on Breeders' Cup Day 1991. Just another day and another upset here. It's All Greek to Me was second as Miss Alleged wins the turf at a big, big price.
Now, after her race in the 1991 Breeders' Cup Turf, Miss Alleged took home an Eclipse Award. Well, that's it for this edition of the Sport of Kings. And once again, on behalf of everyone here, we would like to say thank you for allowing us to be with you on this Saturday morning. One thing to leave you with, next week, it's a rebroadcast. Remember to keep them straight, or we are going to get you on that final turn.
Cut it. Cut it. Come on.